Beware of Dream Eater and the early hype, because I don't think this is going to go down as the scariest movie of 2025. Dream Eater first went viral, and when I first heard about it earlier this year on TikTok and just on all social media platforms, it did the rounds of some independent horror festivals, and then it got picked up by Eli Roth's new horror distribution label that focuses on going for like smaller budget projects and giving them a wide release. I love that because I think horror, obviously, it's one of the most popular genres today. There's so much you can tap into in horror, and I am a big fan of a movie that can really get me feeling tense and unnerved. And it brings me no joy to say that I found this movie to be more disappointing than anything, with a super cliche story, stiff performances, and overall lackluster scares. One of the big things that really did bring it down for me were the performances. Now, the movie is led by Alex Lee Williams, and I think he delivers some solid work. Some lines of dialogue, some of his delivery is a little rough, especially when he's like in that possessed state. I think that he delivers some creepy work. Probably my biggest problem with this movie, though, is Mallory Drum, who is one of the co-directors. She herself and two others directed this movie, including Alex Lee Williams, who is the star, like I just said. Her performance was actually really irritating to watch. I don't know her background in terms of, is she a trained actor? If she was just like, I'll take on this role, I'll see what I can do with it, I don't know. From looking at her brief IMDb page, it looks like she is just a producer turned actor in some like small capacity. She's been in a role or two, and then she did this. All I'm saying was, I thought this performance was so stiff and drew no emotion. It was like she was reading off a teleprompter, and that's really hard and brings the movie down. And it really, like, as an audience member, you're trying to get invested in this story, you're trying to be scared, and then you just have someone just like blank stare, just like reading like they're bored, and you're like, why should I be compelled by this? I don't want to crap on it too much, because obviously this is a low budget project, and that's a feat in and of itself, just getting the movie made and then picked up by Eli Roth. Like, congrats. But at the same time, you could have found someone else, and it just really, it brought the movie down a lot for me. On top of that, I found the movie to be a bit boring just because I wasn't invested in the story. It was super cliche. It takes every by the numbers turn, and you know where it's going to go, and you're like, oh, this is when the story starts to unravel, and you start to learn more about the history behind this stuff. And the lore is lackluster. The lore itself is just kind of like, here's some lore, we're not going to really dive into it, it's just there, and that's it. It's not interesting, plain and simple, and that really didn't get me invested either. Dream Eater is not terribly scary. It's just predictable jump scare after predictable jump scare. The music cuts, and you know something's going to be behind someone's back, or the camera's going to turn, there's going to be a jump scare, someone's going to be right there, and that's about it. And it didn't really effectively get me feeling tense. It does one cool thing like once or twice, though, and I will give it credit for it. It cuts to black, and obviously in our imagination, we're like, oh, what's going on? Obviously, the imagination is just scared of just like complete darkness. Your mind is going to start scrambling and being really stressed out, like, what's going on? And then whenever light comes back on, you're going to be like, whoa. In those moments in Dream Eater, all you hear is like creepy noises and a creepy voice, and it leads the audience to kind of be more stressed out than maybe we need to be. Obviously, we fear what we can't see. And so I liked that, but there wasn't enough of that, and they didn't really stick to it. There was like one or two times they did that, and I was like, maybe do a little bit more. But obviously at the same time, like, film is a visual medium, and when you just cut to black and you're just listening to stuff, it's kind of like, what are we doing? What Dream Eater could have been is an interesting deep dive into losing your sanity. Like, we've seen many movies and stories recently tackle that, but it had to put an interesting spin on it, or even just like really seemed like there was a lot of care behind the scenes. It kind of just feels like sloppily put together, and this is what we can do with just barely putting in effort. Sometimes you're losing your sanity to this like entity. You don't know what's going on to you, and your body is just kind of like, what's going on with me in your personal life, and emotionally you're losing it. Instead, it took the lackluster route, didn't really explore that at all, and played everything safe. I'm really trying to review this movie by itself and not dive into like the hype early on. Like, that did, I feel like, contribute a little bit to my disappointment overall, but at the same time, I don't think the movie is good either. I found it to be more boring than anything, with lackluster jump scares, an incredibly stiff leading performance which drags the movie down, and honestly too short of a runtime to do anything interesting. I'm unimpressed. I'm gonna give Dream Eater a D+, and I would just recommend skipping this one. Be sure to leave your thoughts on the movie down below in the comments. If you've seen it, what did you think of it? I want to thank you so much for watching this review, and if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.